I'm still 2 blocks away when the pork fat hits me. Cebu at midnight smells like a grill that never sleeps. My mission? Start with safe, cuddly siomai and end with a fertilized duck egg that blinks. No timeouts, no milk, no mercy, just one paper plate, bottom to top, comfort to nightmare. Ready? Let's roll. In Cebu, some decorations are eternal. I duck under Christmas lights that never got the memo to come down, their faded colors painting the pavement. The air is thick with the scent of steam and frying oil, a siren song for anyone with a few pesos in their pocket. And at the heart of it all, I land at Manang Lita's bamboo cart. She's been a fixture on this corner for 30 years, a quiet queen reigning over her kingdom of snacks. Her siomai stack wobbles precariously in a dented metal steamer, each dumpling glowing a distinctive orange from annatto seeds, a local touch that sets it apart. At 4 for 15 pesos, it's a steal. The sauce station is a DIY masterpiece. Soy sauce, calamansi juice, and a fiery chili oil that looks deceptively innocent. I mix my own concoction, a dark, zesty pool of potential. I stab one with a bamboo skewer, dunk it deep, and the wrapper size open. It's not just juicy, it's a burst of savory pork, bouncy and yielding with a faint sweetness that plays perfectly against the salty, sour, spicy dip. This isn't the delicate dim sum siomai. It's heartier, more robust, built for the streets. Locals call it training wheels for the uninitiated street food adventurer. It's familiar, comforting, a gateway dumpling. I call it the dumpling that spent a summer abroad and came back with a tan and a story to tell. I ask Manang Lita what makes them so good. She just smiles, her hands never stopping their rhythmic work.
No extenders, just day-old fat for silk. The fresh fat is for rendering. The old fat, it has more flavor, it makes the meat smooth. No secrets, just patience.
Patience, and a wisdom that can't be learned in a culinary school. That rendered fat, she explains, is what gives the filling its signature silky texture, a melt-in-your-mouth quality that cheap fillers could never replicate. I nod, savoring the last bite and the little lesson that came with it, but my attention is already being pulled away. Just a few feet down the cart, a different kind of magic is happening. A deep, rhythmic sizzle, a percussive hum. It's the sound of nanggohyong hitting oil that's humming at a perfect 180 degrees Celsius. This is nanggohyong, Cebu's answer to the spring roll. It looks like a stubby, overstuffed lumpia, but the wrapper is thicker, more like a dumpling skin, promising a serious crunch. Inside, it's a dense mix of ground pork, shrimp, and singkamas or chikama for that essential watery crunch. But the real star is the nanggohyong powder, the Filipino 5-spice blend that gives the dish its name. I take a bite. The crack from the wrapper is deafening, a perfect shattering sound. And then the flavor barges in unannounced. It's not just one note, it's a whole chord. First, the warmth of cinnamon, then the medicinal bite of clove, followed by the sweet, licorice-like perfume of star anise. It's an aromatic assault in the best possible way. To counter this glorious 5-spiced grease, you need an ally. And here, it comes in the form of puso, or hanging rice. These are little diamonds of rice, steamed to perfection inside intricately woven coconut leaf pouches. It's ingenious, a portable, biodegradable container and serving vessel all in one. You just tear it open and use the dense, slightly sweet rice to mop up every last bit of flavor, a starchy buffer that keeps the richness from staging a coup on your palate. So, what's the verdict on this first level of our challenge? The fear factor is a solid 6 out of 10 for a newcomer. It's the unfamiliarity, the sheer sensory overload of the street. But the flavor factor, that's a different story. It's a resounding 10. It's complex, it's honest, and it's a delicious reminder that the best food is often found right here, under the glow of forgotten Christmas lights. Night markets don't sleep. They just dim the lights. The daytime hustle of jeepneys and commerce gives way to a different kind of energy. The air grows thick with the holy trinity of Filipino street food. Charcoal smoke, sizzling oil, and the sweet scent of marinating pork. This is where the city exhales, where its true flavor comes alive, not just on the plate, but in the symphony of laughter, haggling, and sizzling walks. I follow my nose, a willing captive led by the scent of roasting pig, and plant myself at the Lechon Belly carousel. It's a rotating monument to porcine perfection, its skin blistered into mahogany bubbles that look like a mosaic of pure crunch. This isn't just roasted pork. It's a culinary art form, slow roasted for hours until the fat has rendered and the meat is impossibly tender.
Con and no bread.
Rice, always rice. It's not even a question. Bread is for sandwiches. Rice is the essential canvas for a masterpiece like this, It's the soulmate to the rich, fatty pork, ready to soak up every last drop of flavor. She nods, her expression one of solemn approval. The cleaver rises, a silver guillotine over the crispy skin. Then she chops. The sound is a percussive crackle, not a dull thud. Skin shatters like stained glass. Fat rains down in a glistening shower, and the meat gleams, pearlescent and impossibly juicy. The first bite is a symphony. Salt, smoke, and a deep, aromatic lemongrass tang from the herbs it was roasted with. The legendary Anthony Bourdain called Cebu lechon the best pig ever. And he wasn't wrong. But tonight it's wearing a fiery chili soy crown, a local sausawan dip that adds a sharp, spicy kick. My heart high-fives my arteries and my soul signs a waiver. This is the kind of delicious that feels slightly dangerous, and I'd do it again in a heartbeat. Still chewing, I slide into a seat at a punko punko stall. The name literally means to squat, and it's Cebu's democratic communal dining experience. You sit shoulder to shoulder on low benches around a basket piled high with fried treasures. No menus, no waiters. The lechon was the main event. This is the glorious, greasy after-party. Chicharon bulaklak, fried pork mesentery, curls like delicate, crispy orchids. There are squid rolls the size of thumbs, sweet longanisa sausages, and then there's the ginabat. It's a golden brown disc that looks harmless, like a savory donut, until you remember it's a cross-section of deep-fried pork intestine. This is the final boss of Cebu street food. I spear a piece, then give it a proper baptism. A deep dunk in a bowl of pinacurat, a spiced vinegar swimming with chilies and garlic. It's the holy water of the fried food faith, the sharp, acidic cut that makes all this glorious grease possible. The gut pops, the steam that escapes smells like barnyard, and somehow tuition fees. The flavor is rich, funky, and undeniably porky.
First time, that's the taste of college all-nighters. That's what got us through engineering school.
The whole bench laughs, and suddenly I'm in on the joke. I came for the best pig ever, but I found a community built on low benches and shared vinegar. Medium level unlocked, and the grease slick on my lips feels less like a mess, and more like a badge of honor. Pause. If your jaw's dripping or your stomach's filing a complaint, hit subscribe before we start dissecting anatomy. Ring the bell too. YouTube's pickier than a Lola tasting adobo. Back to the chaos. I chase a tricycle down Juan Luna and land at a gutterside clay pot bubbling like a horror cauldron. Tuzla bua, pig brain and liver, turns into gray-pink lava. He hands me a bamboo skewer with day-old rice. I dunk, swirl, lift. The sauce coats each grain like velvet gone metallic. Kids around me double dip without shame. I ask how long it stays on the flame, till the brains run out. Heat level, 8/10, and we still haven't cracked the egg. We've reached the end of the road, the final alley. It's late, and the city's pulse has faded to a whisper, funneling down to this single, flickering tube light. This is where the culinary map ends and the real adventure begins. The air is thick with the smell of frying oil and a challenge. The stall owner, a man whose hands move with the muscle memory of 1,000 late nights, lifts a wire basket from the bubbling oil. What emerges is pork mesentery, the lacy, fatty membranes that once held the pig's intestines. He tells me they call it teeny teenai. It's a local favorite, a beer companion, a midnight snack that's all about texture. Fried to a shattering crisp, it curls into what looks like a crunchy golden ribbon. He says the secret is a double fry, locking in the flavor while rendering out most of the fat. I grab a fistful, still glistening and hot from the fryer. The grease is part of the promise. I blow once, then bite. It's an explosion of crunch, a shatter that gives way to a satisfying chew. The flavor is subtle at first, a faint blood sweetness, but then it deepens. Imagine a chicharon that remembers every meal the pig ever ate, earthy, complex, and undeniably porky. My brain is screaming organs, but my hand, acting on some primal instinct, is already reaching for more. This is addictive. To reset, there's only one option. A swig of ice-cold Mountain Dew. The neon green sugary fizz is the perfect counterpoint, a chemical power wash for the palate that cuts right through the glorious grease. And now for the grand finale, the Everest of Filipino street food. The vendor presents it with a quiet reverence. Balut. This isn't just any balut, it's a 17-day-old fertilized duck egg, candled to ensure it's at the perfect stage of development. He points to the shadow inside. A feathered beak is just beginning to form. For Filipinos, it's a powerhouse of protein. For outsiders, it's the ultimate test. There's a ritual to this. The vendor demonstrates, tapping the rounded end of the shell with a spoon until a small crack appears. He carefully peels away a small window, revealing a pocket of air and the broth gleaming beneath. Sip first, he instructs. The broth is like a thin, precious consommé. I bring the shell to my lips. It's warm, surprisingly delicate, yet with a gamey undertone. It's like a chicken soup that studied abroad and came back with a wilder, more complex story to tell. Then the main event, the embryo. With a gentle tilt, I slide the contents onto a spoon. It's a tiny, perfectly formed duckling curled as if in a peaceful nap. The sight is a genuine psychological hurdle. A sprinkle of rock salt is the final preparation. I take the bite. The yolk floods my mouth, unbelievably creamy and rich. The tiny bones, still soft, dissolve like fine fish cartilage. And the head, the part I dreaded most, has a surprisingly nutty, savory flavor. It's a textural and emotional roller coaster. My brain toggles between protein bar and lullaby, trying to categorize the sensation. But the flavor, against all odds, is weirdly cozy. A primal combination of iron from the veins, richness from the yolk, and a whisper of downy feathers. It tastes complete. I exhale a cloud of steam into the cool night air. The vendor watches my face, then breaks into a grin and claps once, a sharp sound of approval. Challenge complete. Done. From innocent siomai to a philosophical crunch of balut, Cebu just marched me up a one-way escalator from comfort to courage. Favorite? Lechon belly. Because crackling should be a love language. Most terrifying? That pork lace. It's like eating silk that once hugged a soul. Comment which level you'd tap out at, and tag the friend who brags they'll eat anything. I'm off to find a toothbrush, and maybe a priest. See you on the next hunt, MGA Kaibigan. Keep your rice unlimited and your antacids closer.